During my search for a new game to platinum, I wanted to go after a game that wasn't too time consuming. I came across Crow Country, an indie horror game. Being an indie game, I could start and finish obtaining the platinum trophy in just 2 to 3 hours. But one trophy took this 2 to 3 hour game and turned it into 5 hours. So please join me as we begin this road to platinum for Crow Country. We begin our story with our protagonist Mara Forrest as she is making her way to Crow Country. We arrive at the entrance making our way in. After taking a look around, encountering monsters, I came across this guy named Arthur. Talking with him, he asks us if we can help him out, giving him a bandage for his injuries, but I can't leave him here. So I decided to take him to the car to let him rest there and check up on him later. Getting back on track, I found a note on the ground with a set of numbers. Entering the numbers on this number pad near the Great Ferry and getting access to enter. I'm really stupid because for this next task I had to do, the instructions were on the wall telling me what to do, but I for the life of me could not figure the puzzle out. Confused, I had to look up a video and then realize what I actually had to do. I had to turn the valve over here until it was at this part of this other machine, hitting the lever on the other machine, and I believe it got rid of the fog in the room, which now lets me see the reflecting pool. Shooting at this target, a mermaid came up and handed me a bronze key. I left the area and made my way to the right side of the park, the Haunted Hills. Here I came across Julie, who needs help opening the door. Exploring more of the area, I entered the haunted mansion. This place had medkits and ammo on the shelves, but would also have deadly traps. Having to start from my previous save, I eventually made my way into the crypt. Entering the crypt, I had to solve a puzzle. After solving it, I made my way to this door and was ambushed by a boss. I didn't have enough bullets to fight him, so I left the area. Arriving at the utility corridor, I opened the door for Julie. She makes her way in and tells us she's here to find Edward Crow, the owner of the park. I then approach this safe and enter in the code to receive the lever. Before leaving, I make sure to save because I don't want to die and lose a bunch of progress. Having the lever, I made my way back to the haunted house, using the lever on these 2 clocks and setting them to the correct times, obtaining the gemstone. Leaving the haunted hilltop, I went back to the dig site. In the hole was the next item I needed, but this machine had no chain, so I couldn't operate it. So now I had to go look for one. I left and now opened up the left side of the park. Looking around, I went into the arcade. Here I met Marvin, who seems a bit off. After talking with him, we entered Neptune's palace. Here I would need to solve 2 puzzles, but yet again, I was confused on how to solve them. I left the area to explore some more and wanted to check up on Arthur to see how he was doing. Getting to the car, we talked to him and get the first trophy, checking in on a friend. I then figured out what I had to do to get the chain. I had to enter the swan boats area and use the gemstone and use it on one of the duck heads. Doing this lets me use the duck boat in the back and I maneuvered it to me, interacting with it and getting the chain on its back. Making my way back to the dig site, I used the chain on this machine and got it to work, getting me the next item, the woeful mask. Moving on, I found myself back at the staff hallway. There was one part I never got around to looking at. Entering this new place led me to the Crow's Lounge. Pulling the lever, the wall ahead of me opened up. I took a quick look around and left, but we'll come back to this area in a bit. After running around and not knowing where to go, I used the token to get a hint from this machine. It told me to head to the Witch's Woods. Placing the woeful mask in place opened a new area, the maze. It took me a while to get through the maze, but I made it to the Witch's Cauldron, and inside was the next important item, Neptune's Trident. Having the trident was key to solving the puzzle back in Neptune's palace. Tapping on the glass and having all 4 alligator heads looking at me at once opened up the chest, revealing the next item, the silver key. Remember the lounge area we were at earlier? I made my way back and into the code to this cabinet, opening it up and grabbing the map of secrets and the trophy, Secret Map. Another place I had to explore was the locked door just before arriving to the lounge. It needs the silver key to open, and lucky for us, we now have it. Opening the door and meeting someone new, Tolman. After speaking with him, I solved the puzzle in order to use the elevators found around the map. Right before we leave, Tolman tells us not to go down because we'll end up regretting it. We shrug it off and head off. I then remembered something important. Back at the start of the game, I spotted a car out front. When I approached the car, a prompt told me it required a silver key to open the trunk. Now having said item, I arrived back at the car, using the silver key and finding shoes. Not just any shoes, but shoes that made me faster. Oh, and also the trophy, running shoes. Running back into the park, I died. Making my way back to the arcade, I decided to take a detour and head into this room. Inside I saw a crate shaking. Approaching the crate, I opened it up to see Julie. Helping her out, she informs us that someone mysterious had put her in the crate. She thanks us for helping out and says she's willing to help us out if we need it. Leaving her for now, I finally turned on the power to the arcade. Yet again, I had to solve another puzzle, getting a score of 1, 2, 4, and 8 on the different arcade machines. In the end, it got me the next item, the data disk. I then hopped on the elevator and made my way down. There are a couple of things I would do down here. 1, I would shoot this machine. 2, override this computer to stop the gas from emitting outside the 7 Seas ride. And 3, locate and remember this room where there is acid falling. Heading back up, we're now outside Edward Crow's office and see a new person in the corner. We help her out and she reveals that her name is Natalie Crow, daughter of Edward Crow. Taking a look at us, she asks if we were Harrison, the officer she was talking to on the phone. We say yes, but actually before the game even began, Mara tried stopping Harrison from coming to the park by puncturing one of his tires. She tells us she's trying to get into Crow's office, but the door has electricity guarding it and also needs a golden key to open the door. Remember back when I said I did 3 things while being underground? I said I shot the machine, that machine being the thing producing the electricity heading to the door, saving a good amount of time. Now all we need is the golden key being inside the head of this fairy statue in the theater. Shooting it or throwing grenades won't crack it open. What we need is acid to melt the material. I knew where to get the acid, located underground where I remember the room where the acid was dripping from a faucet. All I needed now was a bottle to hold the acid. I found the bottle sitting inside the cell, and in order to open the cell I had to use the data disk. Entering a specific set of numbers and boom, the cell was open, grabbing the next item, the acid bottle. Heading underground to the spot with the dripping acid, collecting a good amount and running back to the theater, pouring the acid into this container, turning on the sprinklers atop the statue and watching as the acid melted away the material. Finally being able to grab the next item, the golden key. This is where I decided to finally go after the miscellaneous trophies before continuing the main story. I unlocked these 3 trophies for finding and obtaining these weapons, the Magnum revolver, the shotgun, and the flamethrower. Then for upgrading all 4 weapons, I unlocked Wishes Granted. For upgrading the potency of the medkits, I unlocked Medkit Pro. I then made my way to the arcade, getting a score of 5 on the Mermaid Quiz arcade machine and got the trophy Quizmaster. Continuing on with the main story, I used the golden key to open Crow's office. Heading inside, I take a good look. After looking around, I see Natalie is in here with me. We talk with her for a bit and leave, pushing this button, opening the door and walking in. We find ourselves in the control room. In here, I would enter in a code and pull this lever. As I try to leave, a boss ambushes me and we start a fight. After killing him, we hit these tiles from the order of 1 through 6 and make our way out. Something cool you could do here is when entering the room for the first time, hit the number tiles from 1 through 5 only. Then enter in the code on the number pad and hit the lever. When the boss ambushes you, hit the number 6 tile on the ground and you can skip the boss fight entirely. I tried to do that here but failed. Moving on, I went back to Ocean Kingdom. Here I would head to the door that is locked, and before hitting in, since I completed the override during my first time hitting underground, the gas was no longer emitting from the ground, saving even more time. using the golden key to enter the 7 seas. Taking a look around, I noticed that I would need 2 people to operate the ride. Luckily for me, I knew just the person to ask. I went up to Julie asking if she could help us out. She agreed, making her way to the ride. With Julie controlling the ride, I got on board and went through the tunnel to the other side. Stepping off the ride, I would find the final key item, the large battery. I made my way out and Julie was nowhere to be found. Looking at the ground, I noticed a red stain. Oh, stepping outside the 7 seas, I quickly noticed it's dark and no enemies in sight. I wonder where everyone went. I now had the battery, but I needed to charge it since it was dead. Making one last trip on the ground, I entered this room, plugging in the battery and charging it. After this, I installed the battery in the big crow, pushing the button and watching as the crow slowly left the area. With the crow now gone, there was an elevator. I stepped on and made my way down. Getting off the elevator, I killed this room filled with monsters and moved on to the next room. In this next room, we find a dead body, but not just anybody, but Harrison, the officer who we tried to keep away from coming here, and the one Natalie was talking to on the phone. He died, but he didn't die from the monsters. It seemed more like he was shot. We apologize to him and we keep moving forward. Entering the next room is a puzzle. Solving it and walking for a bit, we find Toman again. Talking to him, we tell him that Harrison died, but he already knew. Asking him how he knows this, we hear a voice behind us. It's Marvin, pointing a gun at both of us. We try to reason with him, but no luck. As he keeps talking, he gets interrupted by a sound coming from the vents. He thinks we're trying to trick him and... It's Julie. I thought she was dead, but she lets us know that she was just dragged into the vents by a monster. After talking, we tell Julie to check up on Natalie and Arthur, and we ask Toman to accompany her. They leave and we continue on ahead, bringing down this gate and going down a ladder that rivals that of Bloodborne's ladder. Reaching the bottom, we enter a mysterious room. Here we find pictures of everyone who we've talked to. Interacting with the microphone, we finally hear the man himself, Edward Crow. He tells us to pick up the vials on the table. Interacting with the microphone, the door opens and we begin to make our way in. Walking in, we come face to face with the Crow Man. But before talking with him, I notice traps on the floor, shooting them out just to be safe. Talking with Crow, we tell him that we're infected and we don't have that much time to live. He says he knows and that he's come up with a cure. He also reveals that everyone who we've met has also been infected. He states he only created 5 vials, with there being 6 of us. He then tells us we don't need to make a decision as he won't be taking a vial from us. He's gonna jump into the pool, revealing it's a gateway. Before we finish our conversation, he tells us no matter what happens that we would need to be the ones to kill him. He falls into the pool, and soon he emerges again as the final boss. We defeat him, finishing him off with a shot to the head. I finished the game and got the trophy complete for completing the game, and another trophy, B rank, for achieving the B rank. One thing before we move on, you can unlock bonus items depending on what rank you get at the end of your playthrough. I'll get more into what affects your ranks later, but for now, since I got a B rank, I unlocked the crowbar, which lets me break crates with the crowbar. Starting my next run, my first trophy would be Secret Hunter for finding all 15 hidden secrets. This is easy if you have the secrets map, as it marks all the locations to find the hidden secrets at. The next trophy is Thorough for defeating all 4 optional mini bosses. Finishing the game once again, I got an A rank and the trophy by the same name. And unlocked the bonus item, the Grenade Launcher. This item is OP as it's an explosive weapon killing enemies in 1 or 2 shots. We arrive at the final trophy and the one that made this game go from a 2 to 3 hour game to a 5-hour game, S rank. I kept on doing run after run, not realizing that there are some things you can't do in order to get the S rank. During a new run, I try to finish the game quickly, never saving, never using the bird machine that gives you hints, minimizing damage, and minimizing the use of medkits and bandages. Doing this and finishing the run got me the S rank, and the trophy by the same name. And after finishing that, the Platinum Trophy, Platinum. Yeah, just Platinum. It's a boring name, so I decided to give it an unofficial title, Crow Crazy. See if that sticks. After finishing the game, I went back and kept on playing it. I tried a speedrun attempt and it's semi-good, but I don't compare it to the speedrunners who finish this game in under 20 minutes. Insane how they do it. One more thing I didn't cover in the video were the blue crow statues. These are small statues you can find around the map. What surprised me was there was no trophy for completing this, although you do get in-game rewards like a new costume and infinite ammo for your pistol. I'll be on the lookout for more indie games since I really enjoyed this one, and if you have any suggestions on any indie games you'd like to recommend to me, let me know in the comments. One more thing before the video ends, if you could do me a favor of leaving a like and subbing to the channel as it'll really help me out. Well, that's all for now. Until the next one.